Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the InstaClass by Amity Online. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come and speak to you all.
It's 5 o'clock.
I'm Vega Bakshi, a filmmaker with an extensive experience in the field of media and filmmaking. Let me first share the good news. And you know what? The good news is that no matter which field you're from, science, commerce, humanities, media will always welcome you if you have that creativity in you. Of course, the basics have to be in place, but what matters most is going to be your creativity. And now the bad news. So what? There is absolutely no bad news. It's just the banter that the poor news channels have to bear from the audiences. Good and bad is always a part of everyone's journey, isn't it? But believe you me, despite all the banters, one just cannot survive without news. Why I was talking about news is because taking forward from news, I worked for 5 years with NDTV, but eventually realized that news was not my cup of tea. So what next was the question. Then eventually exploring and judging what I should do next. To be honest, I had a plethora of opportunities in front of me. And talking about the careers in the field of media production, I was introduced, and now let me also introduce that and tell you that you need to be very sure if you're keen on print or you're keen on television. So there are two bifurcations if I was to talk about the careers in the field of media production. By television, I do not mean it's only TV, but social media, radio, OTT, everything comes under it. In the interest of time, let me throw light on the latter, which is television advertising. If we were to broadly diversify this field, here are a few ventures that each one of you could diversify into. First and foremost, content strategist, in which you extensively do content writing for all forms of media. It could be web, it could be social media, script writing, articles. This field, again, is absolutely very vast. And honestly, you could do that as a freelancer, or you could be hired in a company to do the same. Number two, public relations specialist. Now, if you have a fantastic communication skills and you're comfortable talking about the merits of your favorite brand or product that you like, a career in PR might just be the perfect fit for you. Now, PR specialists typically work for advertising agencies, public relation firms, or large companies with in-house PR teams as well. The prime role is to design and execute media strategies to keep their employers' product and services in news, but remember, in a good way only. Video producers, number three. If you spend any time online, you'll probably notice that video is taking over your favorite site. Someone has to create those eye-catching, meme-inspiring video moments, and that person is a video producer. So as the internet video boom continues, you will expect to see more of these jobs on the horizon anytime from now onwards. Video editor, number four. The explosion of online and mobile video content has led to the corresponding increase in demand for film and video editors. Basically, you know what they do is they take raw footage, transform it into a finished product. Here, of course, it's very imperative that one has to be abreast with the latest softwares, and you should have your degree in filmmaking. Just remember that all film directors were first good video editors. The next, number five. Art directors design visual concepts for promotions and products. They may work in print, online, television. It could be any form of media depending upon their industry. Art directors may have previously worked as graphic designers or photographers or illustrators as well. To succeed here, you must be able to communicate well and manage a team of artists. And of course, you should have your hands on your design softwares as well. Animators and graphic designers. Now, a career in animation is one of the most sought after career options these days. Just remember, and why not, with high salaries, the career growth, and an opportunity to showcase your creativity, a career in animation could be the right choice for today's youth. And mind you me, animation in itself is a vast field. There are 2D, 3D animators, and they're all separately, and there are a vast number of fields that come under that: texturing, lighting, rigging, rendering, and each of these have separate beings. So just imagine there's a huge vastness. There is a question that's coming into me right now, that which media field is more beneficiary in terms of monetary. Trust me, I've come to 6 points till now. All of them in terms of monetization are very, very well paid. And the point that I just spoke about, which is animation and graphic designing, Graphic designing could take a back seat, but animation, a career, that is one that is most sought after career option these days, and there is a huge choice for today's youth. And it's a very well paid job. If I was to just give you a simple example, cost of animation, 1 second duration, you charge 3,000 rupees per second in animation. So there you go. You can take it forward from here. Sound engineers, they are also called Foley editors when you come into the field of films. Sound engineers and these editors, they work in a variety of different environments, from recording studios to stadiums to theaters to recording sound files. They also maintain their recording equipment, but remember, in short, none of our shoots are complete without our sound data. We rely on them like blindly. Bloggers, most of you might already be blogging. And you know what? Companies often employ bloggers as part of their marketing strategy. An engaging blog provides a very friendly public face for the company, while potentially it helps the organization's ranking on Google and other search engines as well. So writers who work primarily on blogs have to be able to turn out attention-grabbing copy and that adhere to the organization's voice, of course. So this is another point that can turn out to be huge in terms of your monetary requirements. Because blogging these days, people are earning like anything, and you must be following a lot of bloggers on Instagram. You yourself could be one, in fact. The next most important thing, social media specialists. If you already spend most of your time on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the good news is that it doesn't have to be a waste of time. Let's convert that time into something which is more passive for you. If you're willing to embrace the strategic marketing side of social media, you might be able to turn your passion into a career. But just be advised, in addition to a bachelor's degree and plenty of social media know-how, which of course is imperative, this job requires tact and discretion. And the internet never forgets. So one thing wrong, you are gone. There's another question that's coming in, which is, where can we get internships in media? So when it comes to giving you internships, there are a huge number of news channels these days. If you think that news would be your forte, that is one place that you can go to. The other thing is that there are a lot of production houses. I myself have my own production house, and I have scores of opportunities for freshers to come in and intern with us. So, you know, this platform can actually give you, you can be producers, you could be directors, you could be ADs if you're coming to production houses like us. However, if you're going to news channels, or if you're going to other, not specifically news channels, it could be other channels as well. Therein, you can have, you can intern as ADs, you can intern as production assistants. There are a huge scope of opportunities. That is something that you will be rest assured given, for sure. Now let me come to number 10 before I take the next question, which is, you can be an anchor or a host. There are different kinds of anchors. There are news anchors, there are show hosts, also called program anchors, like the ones you see in travel shows, food shows, MCs who do live shows, radio jockeys, and a lot more. Maybe a separate InstaClass on that someday. But remember that this role comes with a big responsibility of a whole lot of skills, and then one must have to, and of course, has to be natural. So, you know, I just threw light upon 10 more most important roles that are instant for you. And again, I'm going to come back to the point that the first question that came to me was, you know, how highly paid are these jobs? They are very well paid. You know what, right now, there's a recession that the country is undergoing. Because of the lockdown, you know, people are not able to work. But the media field is on their job. There's not a single advertising house, there's not a single production house that is sitting free right now because we are burdened with work. I have, you know, clients who are calling us from Netherlands, who are calling us from Denmark, and they want us to do the job for them. They want us to shoot, they want us to edit. Edits you can do, but you cannot shoot because of the lockdown. Anyways, before that, let me come to another question, which is media helpful abroad? Media is very helpful abroad, and trust me, people rely on India to get their work done because that is something that they think will be done cheap first, but that this is something that they also know that the skills that we have, nobody else has. So, you know, the output that is going to go from India will be A-class. Okay, because of the paucity of time, I do not have much time to continue, but let me just quickly sum it up. Apart from the 10 that I told you, There could be voiceover artists, DOPs, cameramen, still photographers, casting heads, lighting technicians, the list goes on and on. This field, like I said in the beginning, is really vast. You have to ask yourself, what is that you can do best? Once you are firm with your decision, all those of you listening to me, start doing it now, because with time comes experience. So with that, thank you very much for tuning in. This is Vega Bakshi, Director of Pride Films Production.